Where you at, Berto?
Why I got divorced at 22. This be the thing, man. Some of y'all be just rushing into marriage and then you don't know what it comes with. And then boom, you're divorcing at 22. Now, maybe it's not so bad, honestly, when you think about it, because at 22, you probably don't have that much assets. And you probably don't have that much going on to where it, completely blows up your life financially. But, you got to take your time. You got to make sure that you're getting with the right partner. Make sure that you are going to be with this person for the long haul. How much of a real effort could you have given it if you were only 22 years old? You was married for a year, some change? Maybe a couple months. Come on, man. Let's get right into the video and see what's going on.
All right, y'all. Why I got divorced at 22 years old. 547,000 likes. Yes, that is my son in the background crying. He's taken care of. He's just a baby. All right, let's go.
Ladies and gentle people, this is how I became divorced at 22 years old. This is going to be very simplified. I would rather undershare than overshare. I have reached out to members, friends and family members, both myself and my ex-wife, to find the best way to do this. And we all pretty much came to the same conclusion of do not share more than is needed. But if...
Are you a content creator? Like, what is the purpose of you even sharing this at all?
At some point I feel the need to elaborate. I might do that. There might be longer versions of this with breakdowns and parts, but let's get into it. Okay, so I got married May 17th of this year, and shortly before that, my wife...
So it didn't even last a year.
Wife or ex-wife started a new job. That's important to know. So we end up moving into our apartment together in mid-July. I believe it was July 16th. Between the when we got married and that time, we were living with my parents. So we move in about 2 weeks after that. My wife has just a breakdown, comes in my office, has a breakdown about, I feel like we might have rushed into this. We did things too soon, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't like we need to split. It was just, I'm freaking out. So, okay, let's talk through it. About a week later, she apologizes, says, hey, I think I was just having kind of a mental breakdown. I'm like, hey, that's fine. I get it. It's scary times. I had a freak out. I think it was like the third night that we were staying in the apartment, just about missing my family. So some time goes on, and now we're in August, and there's another freak out. And I feel like we rushed into this, blah, blah, blah. Well, we meet with our premarital counselor. Well, our counselors, I guess.
Still getting married while depending on your parents' money. Facts. Like, what are we doing?
Yes, but they did our premarital counseling. We talked through it. They're like, hey, this is super common. We see this in young married couples all the time. Let's, set some expectations for one another just so you guys can help each other out. And we did. And, I think in my head, things are going great. So Monday, September 15th rolls around, and I leave work a little early. She tells me that she wants me to come home so we can talk. And so I go home, and I get there, and she's like, hey, I'm not ready to talk just yet. Go play the game. So I'm like, okay, I play the game for an hour. Go back in. Hey, I'm not ready to talk just yet. Go play the game. Okay, go back in for an hour.
Is she playing the game or you're playing the game?
Whatever. So basically she tells me, hey, I don't know. I don't want to talk about this. I think that it's just not worth talking about. And me being an anxious person, I'm like, well, is it something small, or is it something like you want to move out? And she's just kind of like, I don't really know. I don't know. I feel like, there's just so many things happen so quick, and I don't know. Well, either way, we talked through things a little bit. I think she can tell that I'm upset. She could tell that I was upset, so she just kind of dialed back. Maybe, I don't know where her mind.
How old is she? You're 22. What is she? 18? 19?
Spaces or headspaces and any of this. Well, the following Saturday rolls around. Everything's all hunky-dory for me. I go out with my buddy. We put out some bags of corn and stuff. And then I get home. She's like, hey, when are you going to be home? I tell her, and she's like, okay, great. I'm going to take a shower, and I'll see you when you get home. Well, I get home. She got her bags packed.
Damn.
Hey, I'm going to stay with my mom. I need some space away. I might be back Wednesday. I don't know. Can we talk? Nope. Gone. Out the door. Gone. Poof. Gone.
Yo, real quick, if you like making money, I need you to watch this part of the video. If you don't like making money, then go ahead and skip it, but that really should be none of y'all. I know you guys have been seeing me promote this new app called Free Cash, and the big talk of the town is
this a scam, Berto? What is this?
Well, look at this guy. and this guy, all people from our community that are making money through the free Cash App. The link is in the description. Even one person from my boy Astro Dior's community made $1,000 using the free Cash App. I know it sounds crazy, but yes, you can make free money while playing games on your phone. But let me break this down in a very clear way for you guys so you know exactly what's going on. When you sign up for free cash using the link in my description, once you're in, you're gonna see a list of games pop up. You download them, you play them, you beat the levels, get to the certain requirements that they tell you to hit. And once you get there, you're gonna get some credits sent to your account. Every single time you hit the requirements, you get paid real money. And they make the process so easy that you can cash out that money into your PayPal or even gift cards. And yes, it is completely free to use. Now, there are some options where you can spend a little cheese to get through the level faster, but you don't need to do that. The reason why this is even possible is because these games are trying to get new players onto their platform. So they pay free cash to pay you to get people to play the game. Now, I know I showed you a crazy example of somebody making up to $1,000, which it's possible, but realistically, it might take some time. This is just an easy way you can make an extra 10, maybe 20 bucks, just doing something that you guys probably do for free anyway. So if you're gonna be bullshitting on your phone playing games, why not get paid? So if you've been on the fence, this is your sign. Click the link in my description and try out a few games. And when you make your money, take a screenshot and send it to me, bro, because I want to see y'all make that cheese. Because if I'm winning, I want to make sure y'all winning too. I love y'all. Y'all know what to do. Link in the description, and you're gonna get a $5 bonus using my shit. Now let's get right back to the video. Where you at, family?
No contact that Sunday, that Monday. Then Tuesday night, I finally call her. Now, mind you, in between this, I'm over at my best friend's house. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm freaking out. And I say no contact. There were a couple texts sent. Well, she also goes over there and is with him and his girlfriend and just talking to them. And it's, they're trying to figure out what's going on. And they're asking the questions. Hey, is there anything going on that might be causing this? Is there anything,
I'm 22 right now, and I couldn't imagine getting married at this point in my life. Managing work, school, and a relationship is hard enough. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like 22, 21, that's a great place to, have a relationship and, be trying to work towards marriage, maybe marriage, dating with the intention of marriage, but to be like, oh, I'm just going to get married. 22, gang. Like,
She's like, no, nothing. Well, so Tuesday night I call her, and this is now, let me get the date. Yeah, so Tuesday the 23rd of September, I call her, and things seem well. And I'm like, hey, do you want to go out tomorrow? She's like, yeah. So her and I go out. We have a great dinner, and she tells me, like, look, I've decided I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to run away. Like, we're going to work on this together. I can't leave you. I don't want to leave you. I'm not going to leave you. Awesome. But you need to do this and this and this and this and this. And mind you, everything's been fairly normal for me up to this point, up until her leaving. So thing number one was therapy. So I put myself in therapy. I get couples therapy for the two of us. I'm paying out the...
What? Therapy for what? Exactly. Like, I'm not mad at therapy, but therapy for what? What is the problem that we are having, that I'm having, or that I'm causing for this to happen?
But whatever. This is necessary. Whatever means. She's like, I'm not ready to move back in yet, but, we'll see. So we have our first therapy session that following Sunday, and... just to kind of collapse all this down. Eventually, after like a week or so, she moves back in. Things are going great. I'm cooking dinner every single night.
Whoa. You're all right, bro. This is just starting to sound like this nigga's just simped out, bro. He got his first girlfriend. He fell head over heels in love. And now he's bitched out cooking for her to keep her in the marriage that you prematurely did at 22. Couldn't be me.
Right. She did almost nothing around the apartment, and I would complain about that because it's like, but I was like, you know what? I don't care. Cooking, cleaning, everything. Laundry, everything. I'm doing everything.
What is she doing?
I made up her closet for her and stuff and whatever. I'm just like, I'm trying to show her whatever it is that you need, I'm going to do.
He's being desperate, bro.
And I just start working on myself and start trying to be, the best husband that I could possibly be. And
the only thing, and I don't want to go too hard on him. At the end of the day, he's trying to show up for his wife. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to be, show that he cares and he loves. But it's just like, this ain't the way to do it, though. And again, you shouldn't even be in this situation, bro.
It's stuff that I should have been doing beforehand. But it's like, this is my first time. I'm a kid. Well, 3 weeks go by. Let me go back to my text to figure out the date. So, mind you, during this time, too, she's, like, trying to get me to buy her a new car and, like, a gaming PC. And
gaming PC? What?
We're coming to all these. I mean, it's amazing. It seemed like the most perfect marriage. Well, Sunday, October 12th.
How?
And
Nothing about this sounds perfect.
things have been going great. We have our therapy session, and the therapist is like, guys, I think we made a breakthrough. And we're laughing, giggling, whatever. Well, therapy session ends. She looks at me, hey, I'm dropping out of nursing school.
What?
When did you make that decision? She's like, last week. I was like, okay, all right. I support you. That's a big decision.
Why?
You know, that gives us more time to spend together, you know, I guess, work through these things.
She wants to go have fun, bro. This is a young girl that's not ready for marriage. She still wants to be out here popping her vag in these streets.
Breakdown. Anxiety, full on, just freaking out. My jump to is, hey, let's pray. She doesn't want to. She goes, jumps in the shower. She's free. I can't do this. I thought I could, whatever. And I'm like, hey, let's get in the car, because car rides always calmed her down. Let's get in the car and ride around. In the car, I've been lying to you. I've been doing X, Y. And I go, have you been cheating? And she looks at me, yeah.
Dang.
With who? It's her boss.
Dang.
GG's, chat. GG's.
Dang.
So,
In situations like this, all you can do is laugh. You know what I'm saying?
so she says that.
Played, brother.
And, you know, I've always been a very emotional person, but in that moment, I couldn't cry. I couldn't get angry. All I could do was drive.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm just praying while listening and trying to talk. And basically, she says, I find out over time that she had started emotionally cheating, which let's just call it what it is. She started cheating 2 weeks after we moved into our apartment. So mind you, this is 2 months after we get married.
Wow.
And that, if we do the timeline here, that's when the first freak out happened, when she came into my office. And then apparently it was just that. And then towards the time of the second freak out, before she moved out, was when they had started making plans to be physical.
What I'm like curious about though is because he's only 22. So I just wonder how long they have been dating before they decided to get married. Like, the only thing that could even possibly make sense in my head is if they were on some high school sweetheart shit. So maybe since fucking sophomore year in high school, junior year in high school, all the way, you know, because what? A sophomore in high school, what, you're probably like 16, 17. So then 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so like 5 years. That's the only thing in my brain that would be like, okay, yes, they're young, but they've been together for so long that it's like putting the facade that they're ready to get married. You know what I mean? But this is why, again, I feel like it's just like at 22, bro, at so young, like there's no reason for you to be getting married. There should be no expectation on you as a man to feel like you need to rush into marriage at 22, because while cheating is 100% wrong, like anything can happen, and you're just at such a young age, you're at such a vulnerable age emotionally. You're still learning, you're still finding out about yourself, you're still, you know, kind of seeing what you're willing to tolerate as a man or woman at that age. You know, you make mistakes. Again, cheating shouldn't be one of them, but this is an example. And, you know, everybody develops at a different time. Age can just be a number when it comes to maturity. So, you know, I know people that are well into their 30s that are still immature. But the whole testament is just like, there's no real reason why you should be rushing into marriage at 22. Because now you just pretty much essentially did all this bullshit for nothing, and now you're just left with your fucking dick in your hand. Why?
And then during the time between that freak out and her moving out is when they actually did have a level of physical relation. And then, mind you, this all comes out the day before I'm supposed to hop on a flight for a promotion that I just received.
Yeah.
And
you better still get on that flight, man. Lock in, King.
She tells me that this has been going on, that it's most likely going to continue going on. And
she said this has been going on. My affair with my boss. It's been going on, and I'm going to keep it going on.
Yeah, it's crazy. One thing, I don't respect a cheating woman, but shit, she could have, some people gonna lie and take it to the grave, gang. So round of applause for the cheating hoe that at least confessed, like, hey, this is what it is.
This is 2 months into getting married. Now,
talk to me. What
obviously, we don't have the whole story. We don't have every single detail of what took place. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that he's sharing flaws in certain things that he could have done better as well in this situation. But ultimately, what are you really going to do in that situation when your newly wed wife is sleeping with her boss?
And there's really nothing to do, the only choice is to divorce. I mean, even if they weren't in a marriage, the only choice would be to break up. So it's not that crazy of a scenario. Like, it sucks. It sucks that he got cheated on. But again, the only reason it feels 10 times worse is because you went and married her, bro.
And says that she's going to continue sleeping with her boss.
Which only shows me, like, and this is where I be like kind of baffled too. The fact that she said that I'm going to continue cheating. I'm going to keep fucking my boss. I'm going to keep clapping this nigga. I'm going to keep letting him get into these cheeks. It just shows such a lack of maturity on her end that I find it very hard to believe that there was no other signs of lack of maturity on her end as well. Which is why I also say, I feel bad for brother right here. But
as a man of God, which it sounds like he is, as a Christian,
he kind of is a simp, bro. I hate to like disrespect but it's like you pedestalize this woman so much to the point you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing all the things, anything to make her happy. You said you looking at buying her a car, so at 22, brother, you have a decent amount of shit going for yourself, because that sounds like a lot of money. That sounds like, what I'm saying? Not every 22-year-old can be cooking, cleaning, paying for the apartment, buying her gaming PC, getting her a car, all types of shit. She says she want to drop out of nursing school. You're like, okay, that's cool. So you handling business at 22, but you sold out too early, brother. You sold out too early just for her to go get clapped by her boss. Man, oh man.
As a believer, as somebody who probably prayed to be married and to have the partner that is going to allow him to honor and glorify God and have children and raise a family and all that good stuff, right? To be in that situation must have been extremely confusing and heartbreaking.
Yeah, sure.
And I'll be honest with you. He said he 22 years old. I could tell you right now, at 22 years old, me in that situation, crashing out.
Yeah.
Crashing out.
Yeah, we do got to give him some flowers. It looked like he handled it with grace, and that's I feel like this brother right here, this young man right here, he does have a higher level of maturity, and I got to give it to him. But I can probably guess that this girl that he married was probably his first girlfriend. It's probably his first girlfriend. I would not be surprised. I don't think he's had that much experience when it comes to women. He fell in love with this girl. He never got that first heartbreak. And, he's learning the hard way that you can't just rush into these things.
Out. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Not crying about it, not upset about it. Actually,
Say you're not upset.
I'll just tell you guys, laughing at my crying, because eventually I do start crying, of course. She's like, look, let's go back to the apartment.
What's the question, Reese?
And I'm like, okay. We get back to the apartment. She's like, look, I need to call him. Mind you, I'm falling apart.
How would you react if this happened to you? Hypothetically speaking, if I were to marry a girl at 22 and this happened to me, I mean, bro, I think I'd probably would have crashed out as well. But my crash out would have looked like just probably, I'd probably be talking my shit to her. Like, I'd probably be raising my voice and crashing out, in that way. But my mama's also raised me well enough to know, never to disrespect a woman and just to like straight up walk away. You know what I'm saying? Like, there would be no if, ands, or buts. There would only be one answer. Like, this just can't work. There's nothing to work on. There's nothing to try to repair. There's not really no reason for fucking therapy or trying to figure out or get to the bottom of it. I don't want to speak to the boss. I don't really want to know anything else. It's just like, it is what it is. It's one of those situations where it could only be, it is what it is.
Look, I need to call him. I need to make sure he's okay.
What? Wait. Now I'm missing something. I need to back up a little bit.
Back to the apartment. She's like, look, I need to call him.
What?
Actually, I'll just tell you guys, laughing at my crying, because eventually I do start crying, of course.
Okay.
She's like, look, let's go back to the apartment. Chill out there. And I'm like, okay. We get back to the apartment. She's like, look, I need to call him. Mind you, I'm falling apart. Look, I need to call him. I need to make sure he's okay.
That's very cool.
Dog, yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
I
At
don't
22, we ain't calling him, bro. We calling a hit on him at 22.
Yeah.
I'm just being real with you. That's how I'm thinking at 22.
Me.
I don't have the discernment. Bro. What
Yes, she's saying she wants to call the boss to check on him.
the heck is going on
She's laughing and playing in my face. That would piss me off, bro. I don't know. I really don't know how I would move in this situation, bro.
here? What the heck is going on? Nah, but the whole man. The fact that he said he was crying and then she's sitting here laughing at him for crying, for being emotional.
I don't think that's
about
what he said.
their marriage breaking apart. And then to sit here and talk about, oh, let me call him to make sure he's doing okay.
I think those are one of the ones I would be so mad that I would just shut down. Like, I probably would have crashed out by myself on my own. You know what I mean? Because that is something about me that I do know. Once I get to a certain level, I just shut down. And when I say shut down, I don't shut down in a way where like I shut down. It's just, I don't want to talk. It's like, because I'm kind of past my limit of talking. It's like, yo, like I'm gonna, if I have to talk anymore, shit's gonna get ugly. And I have enough self-control to be like, I'm not getting there. You know what I mean? So conversation over. That's probably what would have happened to me in this scenario at 22.
So she leaves for 2 hours while it's like 12 o'clock at night. I can't sleep. I can't do anything, right? I have a flight to catch the next morning. I can't do anything. I'm falling
Fair
apart.
enough.
Finally, she comes home and she's like, look, I don't want to talk about this. Let's just lay down.
What?
So I get like 2 hours of sleep, wake up, get on a flight. And
She laid down in your bed? Well, that's one thing that wouldn't have happened. I would have been like, yo, pack up all your shit and go lay down in that nigga bed.
absolutely bomb, do terrible, right? Because how could you do well? And during this week, while I'm gone, all I'm thinking of is, okay, how am I going to fix this?
What?
How am I going to fix this? I don't know how I'm going to fix it. How do you forgive? Well,
Nothing to fix. There's nothing to fix or forgive.
And wow, God is good. Because though I didn't fix it, he kept me functioning better than I would have without him. And yeah, so then I get back. She ends up actually picking me up from the airport that Thursday night. We hang out.
I'm Uber.
She drives.
Don't pick me up, bitch. Leave me alone.
Back to the apartment, goes and stays at her mom's. Friday morning, wake up, we go on a date. It's great. We're having a good time. It's a little weird, but we're having a good time. Well, eventually, we go back to the apartment. She falls asleep. I go through her phone, and it is her and him dogging on me, talking about how she's going to stay on my good side so she can get things from me. And all...
I woke up Chris Breezy. Yo.
all sorts of terrible stuff. And so I'm like, hey, wake up. Let's go. And she's like, oh my gosh, did you go through my phone? I'm like, yeah, I did. And then
oh my God.
Part 2. I didn't think it was going to be this long. So, so she goes and starts freaking out, and she's like, take me home. I'm like, okay, cool. Now we are driving home, and she's telling me, I really thought there was a chance. I really thought you would change.
Dude, what the? You're cheating on me!
But you going through my phone just shows me you're the same person.
Dang. The gaslighting is crazy.
I just took you on a date, spent a bunch of money, had what I thought was a great day, and the whole time you're sneaking off to the bathroom.
This is where I gotta criticize you though, brother. How could you get off that plane, your business trip, be thinking about all this shit that transpired and thinking that there's any chance of reconciling? You're simping way too hard, bro. This is one of those situations where God really be kind of putting you through it so you can learn. Because you didn't learn your lesson. You genuinely got out of that and thought, oh, I can fix this. No, bro. It's over with.
To text your boyfriend about how you have to stay on my good side and hoping that he's not upset with you for it. So then I turn on her Snap Maps because I'm crazy. I turn on her Snap Maps and sure enough that night she ends up at his house. Saturday morning, wake up, go home, pack up all of her stuff nicely, not throwing stuff, right? I just put whatever clothes and stuff into bags and put the other stuff in whatever. Load it in the back of the truck, text her, hey, what time do you get off work? Or what time are you going to be at your mom? She tells me, okay, I pull up, got all of her stuff in the truck, and she's like, can we go get food? I'm like, you know what? Let me see how much information I can fish out of here. So she knows at this point, she's found out that her Snap Mouse is on. So I'm like, where were you last night? She's like, a friend called me. I was upset at you. And so, they called me and I went over. I was like, was it his house? She's like, yeah. I'm like, did you sleep with him? Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. My gosh.
So then.
Oh my God, bro. This bitch is playing in his face.
Full transparency. We're riding around. And she's just like, let's just drive. Let's just go somewhere. Let's just wake up and see the sunset somewhere.
No, don't do that.
And I'm not going to overshare, but I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. And
what's wrong with this kid?
I'm not even going to listen. What your mind is thinking, that happens. What a moron. What a buffoon, right? So either way.
Well, you hit her? You clapped? She finessed you with cheeks, huh? She gave you a little bit of them leftover crummy cheek action, and you folded. Leftover, by the way, because she was just giving it to bruh man literally last night.
I'm spending the night. I'm spending the night. And then Sunday, I wake up and I go to church because I'm like, God, I need you so, which I go to church anyways, right? But I'm like, God. And so I go to church and I walk in early and I sit there and I just cry in a pew. And then I get out of church and to a text from her, hey, she texted me somewhere along the lines of, or I can't remember if it was text or call, but she's like, hey, come back over and I don't like how you left. I'm like, okay. So I went over and I get over there and she just wants to lay down.
Why the fuck is she demanding and you are listening to anything she got going, man? You're pissing me off, bruh.
Lay down. What an idiot. Either way. So she's like, hey, I got to go to my friend's house.
Oh my
so you got to
God.
go. This is several hours later. Well, she goes to her friend's house, and then she goes back to his house. In the same day!
On the Lord's day? A 2-for-1 on the Lord's Day.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. You need to go get tested, young man. He's too simpy. I don't know how people think like this. You know, this is crazy.
Guys, I don't even know what to say.
Gosh. So I'm like, hey, I schedule us tests because I just sorry.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I schedule us test. Thank God, everything's fine, everything's clean, everything's clear. Thank God.
Okay.
Well, then the next like 2 or so weeks go by, and she's talking about, hey, I'm moving, I'm gonna do all these things, and like I want us to be friends, I want us to stay in contact.
Friends, stay in. Friends. You think I want to be your friend? You cheating? Fuck. Friends.
And I'm still in the mindset of I'm gonna make this work.
Bro, you're making it real hard to feel bad for you, bruh. You're making it real hard to feel bad for you, young man. Look at, what are you doing? What are you doing, gang? Why are you manipulating yourself like this? Make what work? What are you trying to make work exactly? There is nothing to make work. There is nothing there.
Well, along the way, I ended up finding out a lot more.
Okay.
And I didn't believe it at first until I started receiving proof. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of hits. And mind you, we hang out like 1 or 2 times after that. And so eventually she says like, hey, like I'm moving and stuff and whatever.
What is it going to take for you to man up?
And I'm like, okay. And so in my mind, I'm not signing the papers. I'm not signing the papers. You're crazy. Sorry, I made a covenant vow with God. I don't care if you're stupid and went and did something stupid. Like, no, like we're going to figure this out. Eventually you take so many hits that you start to realize maybe God's giving you the pass. Maybe God's letting you get out of this. And that's exactly what happened. She continuously chose other people throughout these 2.
That's what I'm saying. That's a good ass point, Juke. Once a woman feels no need to hide the cheating, any shred of my respect may have is gone. Like, bro, that's a different level of disrespect. Because cheating is one thing. But she respects you so little, she's not even willing to try to hide it. That's different, bruh. That's a different level of cheating. Like, yes, I will go and clap this nigga tonight. And you ain't gonna do nothing about it, gangster. That's different. That's different. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Batman wouldn't be able to get this information out of me, bro. This is one of them ones, and mind you, this is coming from somebody that has put his L's on relationships out on the internet. You can go to my channel right now and watch some of the stupid, simpy things that I've done as a young man. But this one I would have kept to myself, gang, because this is character development that I can't have any other woman in the world knowing that my face is attached to this level of simpiness. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't go for it, gang. I couldn't go for it. This is different.
Weeks or so. I don't know what happened with him because they broke up, and then there was,
of course they did,
2 or 3. I don't know. Either way. So
they were never gonna work.
Finally clicks in my head. I'm like, oh, you got to shut it off, bro. Straight Vampire Diaries, just turn it off. So I did. So I guess it's 2 weeks later. She texts or she calls me. And she's like, hey, when are we seeing each other? And I'm like, for what? She's like, just I guess just to sign the papers. I said, you don't need me for that. You guys can get your stuff signed and then have me served or whatever. I'll sign mine and be done. Mind you, this is radically different than the last thing she heard from me, which is, I'm not signing anything. So then I get a text Monday, hey, do you want to see me before I leave?
No.
Respond. Wednesday we meet to sign papers. I'm not going to explain how that ended up happening. I didn't know she was going to be there. Either way, papers get signed, and give, whatever. And she's like, can I get a hug? I was like, look, I don't. And she's like, please. So, okay, give her a hug. And then, yeah.
Just down to the last straw, you let her have her way. Can I get a hug? No! Leave me alone!
There's so much that's not in this because, and if somehow any party that's not, I don't want to say on my side, but on my side with this, I am doing the opposite of dogging. There's so much more. And if there's any accusation of, oh, he's lying, I hate to break it to everyone, but I'm not a buffoon. Alabama's a one-party state, and it was in my own home and vehicle. I've got everything. I have everything right here. So the legitimacy behind what I've said right here.
Berto, have you ever had an L like this that you would never share? I mean, one, if I had an L like this, I wouldn't share it. So I would lie to you right now and say no. But I've told y'all my stories. Like, I don't have no embarrassment, especially when, a big part of what I love to do is allow y'all to learn from my mistakes, because that is something that, you can do. You don't have to always make the mistakes. You can literally watch people like this and be like, oh yeah, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I've never been embarrassed to get on here and tell y'all, the stupid things that I've done so that y'all don't do it. But man, this is just a different level of stupid. Like, again, we've all been young, dumb, and flustered by love, but the amount of red flags, the amount of bullshit that this guy is telling us, I don't know. I was never this down bad, bruh.
I undershared a lot because I hope, and the last thing that I said to her, I prayed over her. The last thing that we did is we had a conversation. I said, I am not mad. I do not hate you. I hope you have a wonderful life. I hope you find a man someday that you can love the way that you should. I prayed for her.
That's tough, but I respect it, just as a man, again, I would say on a P scale, keeping it P, that is not P at all. That's simpy, bitchy, and all that. But, in the scale of, in the eyes of God, to not hate and to lead with love and continue to be a good person. I mean, hey man, you're doing your thing and I respect that. But at some point you got to respect yourself too, gang. Like, you got to respect yourself too.
Heartbreaking.
Wish you the best. Said I can't be in contact with you again. I can never talk to you again. This has to be the end of it. Now it's turned into a thing where she's dogging me to an extent. I don't want to say dogging me, but it's like, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just a little bit of stupid stuff though, and gotta move on. Gotta let go. I'm so separated. But the plan is, now that I've said all of this, I can now do what I really wanted to do this whole time, which is make the Christian content, but also make the Christian content that speaks directly through what, in my opinion, is got to be one of the hardest things you can go through in life, and that is infidelity, right? And separation, divorce, whatever. And now that I've really said what happened, I feel like it gives me some grounds to talk about this, because let me tell you,
bro. So many questions. So many questions. So much speculation flying around my head. I think the only thing I can really say is 2 words. Equally yoked. That's the number one thing that's popping up in my brain right now.
Much love, Jackson.
Equally yoked.
Elaborate, please.
because based on what I'm hearing, and I don't know if she was a believer or not, he's a believer. That's very clear. I don't know if she was, maybe she was, but somebody who prioritizes their relationship with God and prioritizes the covenant of marriage wouldn't be moving and operating like that.
Yeah.
And like, here's the thing. Like, we don't know all of what happened. We don't have all the details. There's
We have enough,
always
though.
multiple sides to every story.
Yeah, but
based
I
on
mean, we have enough.
what he said, I get a pretty good sense that he's being pretty
Authentic.
genuine
Yeah. Me
with
too.
his account of what took place. And sure, there's probably things that he's leaving out, probably mistakes that he made and words that he said that he probably regrets, or, you know, things like that. But somebody who is submitted to God, or at least is trying to live a life submitted to God, is not going to be openly having an affair with their boss
Yeah.
mere months after getting married.
Yeah, months.
I really respect the fact that he wanted to get married and that he wanted to honor God in his relationship by committing to one woman, being intimate with one woman, potentially building a family with one woman, and doing it at such a young age.
I'm curious to hear his feedback on this, because again, I'm a Christian, y'all. At the end of the day, like, but I don't get on here and be super religious talk with y'all, because I also see how religion is something that tears people apart, and I'm all about bringing people together, and we all love each other and build each other up. So I don't lean into like my personal views on religion too much on here, but you know, as a Christian, as somebody that understands, you know, the POV of not having relations before marriage and whatnot, and that whole thing that people are pushing. You're a young Christian, you're a young man, you're trying to follow the word of God, you're trying to, you know, do the right thing, and you feel like you fall in love with this woman and but then you go rush into marriage so that you can finally, you know, move a certain way with your girl. And it's like, look at this. All you did was rush and pretty much essentially fuck yourself. So, you know, I'm just curious to hear his take on this, because while I respect the decision, it's like, it's why I pray and I always am asking for forgiveness from God, because I just can't move like this. I can't go out like this. I can't go out like this, and I hope in my heart that God sees that and is like, yeah, bro, it's fucked up out here. Because I ain't no way I'm going to be moving a certain way, then rush into marriage so that I can finally have relations with the woman that I love, and then they cheat on me 2 months into marriage. Now, granted, I'm sure there was so many red flags that he passed up on, but like, it's just crazy. So I'm very curious to hear this feedback.
I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, it's weird that you get married, that you got married at 22. I'm not one of those people who think that. I think the earlier you get married, great. That's awesome. Okay. Assuming that it's the right person. Now,
does it get much earlier than 22 though?
Obviously, at the time, he believed that she was the right person. Quickly found out that she wasn't. And honestly, regardless of what you guys say, I think it's a blessing that it happened this early, as opposed to children, more complications when it comes to finances, more complications when it comes to different family dynamics and whatnot. I think it's a blessing that it happened earlier, that she essentially exposed herself earlier on in the marriage, as opposed to this impacting multiple lives. Like, this already impacted multiple lives, I'm sure. But think about the children who would have been impacted and all of those dynamics, which, you know, I've been in a slightly similar situation, not divorce, but, you know, if you know, you know. You know, I just reacted to this story of the woman who was pregnant, husband cheated on her. They're like had just got married and like first year of marriage. She's like 20 weeks pregnant. She chose to go down the path of reconciliation, right? And even in that story, I was kind of alluding to if I basically wanted to say, you know what? You're better off probably leaving, dude.
Yeah.
In that story. But like I said, I didn't have all the information. She wants to make the decision that she wants to make based on what she knows about her marriage. Okay, go ahead, go that direction. Like if you believe that you can make that work and honor God and maintain that covenant and still bring him glory through that situation, because I still believe God can get the glory out of it, out of any situation. But, you know, in this situation, man, it looked like you dodged a bullet, bruh.
Yeah.
You hit the full, you know, Matrix backbend. Like she was firing shots and you folded a little bit.
No, a little bit. We being generous with that one. I don't know about a little bit. My nigga was looking like an origami sculpture in that motherfucker, but he made it out.
You know, you went back, laid in the sheets a couple times. And I get it, like you're trying to.
The fact that he did that moments after she was clapped up from another man. Oh my God.
You sort through your emotions.
Willingly.
And you're also in a confusing state to where obviously it's your wife. You're still attracted to her. I understand. But
No,
she was moving real manipulative. So I'm happy that you got out of that headspace and that you're moving on. And yeah, bro. Like, yeah, man. Crazy story.
Yo, that's definitely was one of the craziest stories we have seen on here in a while, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. My name's Berto. Where you at, family? Let me know how y'all are moving if this were to happen to you.
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look too easy.